Well, as it turns out, today is planting day, and it's a cool, quite cool actually, day here in Maine. And I'm going to keep these in little short clips because I want to be able to post this on Facebook and YouTube. And to do this any other way, Facebook does not like anything greater than a 1 gigabyte file. So I don't believe I mentioned this in the other videos, but this is the original, or that one over there on the ground that's all kind of brown behind the dahlias. This is the original plant that I got all of these clones from. And what I want to show you is that tomatoes, unless you stake them, they're a vine, and they crawl. And I believe they do it for two reasons. There's probably more, but just common sense leads me to believe that they do it for two reasons. The first of all is everything wants to propagate. So if you're a plant and you're crawling on the ground and you have all your fruit laying out, it's going to spread that fruit and the subsequent seeds far and distant, giving it a much better chance to propagate the species, and rather than just to fall in one space, just like an oak tree or some other big tree. The other aspect of that is when they lay on the ground, and I'm going to try to see if I can show you there's these little nodules. Maybe that's a good spot right there too. Those nodules, when they get in contact to the ground, will form roots. And so this is the points that I kind of want to make coming up. So that was a preface to what I'm going to be showing you here momentarily with planting. This is the spot that I've selected to plant the tomatoes this year, and I've been watching it. It serves multiple purposes actually. It's fairly close to the house, so in many aspects that's a deterrent to deer, but not completely, because they literally will eat off that apple tree. I've caught them in broad daylight doing so. The second aspect is because it's close to the house, I collect rainwater off the roofs, and it's therefore I don't have to travel so far with water in case it does get dry in July and August. And a combination of those is it has pretty decent sun. So this is the end of May, and by 10 o'clock, it's definitely going to be impossible for you to see that today. But by 10 o'clock, this spot is getting sun over the tops of those oak trees, and gets sun for a good portion of the day. So I'll have sun, access to water, and some improved protection against my biggest issue here, which is deer. All right, so this is me trying to afford myself some protection against the deer. And what I've done in the past, and in the past I mean last year, was to use rebar and this concrete reinforcement panels that I saw on a YouTube video that some farmer, homesteader in Canada used to trellis. Well, it worked. I tried it 2 years ago as a trellis, and it worked okay, but she apparently did not have deer problems like I did, and basically all it did was hold the plants up so the deer wouldn't have to bend over very far to eat them. So I'm going back to the cages and using the extra rebar that I'm not going to use here to hold up the framework to suspend the plants on. So, and the last aspect of the protection here, I have to limit however many plants I'm going to plant inside of what I have for material. So you can see I have 2 here, more, and some more on my tractor that I picked up from where it was out in the previous planting. So this is what I have to limit however many plants. So if anybody's interested in tomato plants, I'm sure I will have extras, because this is all the protection I have. I'm not going to be buying any more of this framework. Okay, so I'm at the point of where I want to begin planting, and this brings us back to the vine aspect of a tomato. So, as I showed you those little nodules, if you plant a tomato in the ground and you dig a hole deeper than the plant itself, as long as you don't bury it too deep below where it's currently at, the roots that are currently existing in the soil here and the roots will develop in this area here. So if I bury this tomato plant to, say, that depth, this will not affect the plant at all like it would, for instance, a tree. If you were to plant a tree and do that above the root bulb at the base of the tree, it would kill it. Tomatoes, because they're a vine, that does not happen. So that lessens the amount of water, because now it can extract water from deeper in the ground and also get it closer to the surface. So I popped the plant out of the pot, and I also put in my formulation for a 10-10-10 fertilizer with bone meal, blood meal, and green sand. So I came up with the formulation to get that combination, which is a good general all-around nutrient replacement or supplement for plants, using the analysis of each of those, and by ratio and proportion came up with what I would need to do a 10-10-10. So you could probably figure that out just using elementary math. So now what I want to do is to bury this plant into the ground, and the soil did come off the root ball, so I will have to be kind of a little bit more gentle with this than I would normally have to be. Well, my second one came out of the pot much easier, and I buried it down so it'll be a little bit deeper than the soil depth, and I did put the fertilizer in, and so I'm just going to continue on with this, and I'll probably snap a couple of shots, clips as I do it, for that kind of video effect. But other than that, I won't come back until this is finished.
So look at her choices, look at what she chooses to do, and if she places herself.
Well, I'm pretty much finished, and I got in right around 12, 13 plants, and I did have to change the situation, the setup for the fence. I ended up canting the walls in, and the reason I did that was for at the corners it was not going to work as far as joining the corners together. So this way I can do it as such, and I think you'll see that better this way when I come at from both corners. So again, I'm not worried about small animals. This is for deer. I don't believe a deer will jump in to that enclosed spot. I think it's too much of a dangerous situation for them. They certainly could easily do that, but I think they would look at it as not worth the effort. And final comment I think that I want to impart upon you is this is the kind of thing that you have to do when you are a small producer, one person type operation, maybe a couple of people. You have to do this instead of planning huge, massive amounts, accepting some loss, and with everything that comes with that too. With the mass production, you spray a lot, you indiscriminately do things to maximize profit, because that's what it's really all about. I do try to make money here, but this is definitely the time that I've spent here today will eat up probably many, many pounds of tomatoes that I sell. So just food for thought.